onto the first hospital. The parking to this hospital was literally like down like a 45-degree angle. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I can't walk up this hill right now. We honestly didn't really know what we were supposed to do because outside of the emergency care was this huge like parking spot. And so that's where we just ended up parking because I wasn't gonna be able to walk all the way up this hill. We go in there, hobble down the hallway, we find this lady and we tell her what's going on. She looks at it and says it's broken, but she's not a doctor. She was like, well, we don't have an orthopedic on staff right now. Only doctor that we have on staff is like an internalist, like organs and everything. And so she said he would be able to look at it and tell me if I would need to like go to the next hospital over. Because like she figured that he would know the body well enough to be able to tell. Before this doctor like looks at me, we asked this lady, we were like, about the parking. We were like, we're parked in emergency care. We didn't know where to park. And she was like, oh no, you can't park there. You need to move it. Talking to Tamara. And Tamara tells her, well, like, I can't legally drive because I'm, you know, visually impaired. Are you serious? She drove here with a broken ankle? Like, what kind of situation are you two girls in? We have 1.5 Americans that have come to Germany, and one of them has broken her ankle basically, and is the only one that can drive because the other one is visually impaired. And so that's what kind of situation we're in right now. I have to move the car. That was a whole crazy thing because she wanted us to park in this certain area, and like we couldn't figure out what area she was talking about. And poor Tamara once again had to push me in a wheelchair all over the place. Thank you, Tamara. Then we're back in the hospital. Tamara starts wheeling me down this hallway. The doctor just happens to walk out of a room and see us. And the lady that was walking with us like explained to him what he needed to look at. And basically he looked down and immediately was like, it's broken. You need to go to the next hospital like as soon as possible. We get the address to go to the next hospital. So then we drive like 30 more minutes to the next one. The pain is still there, people. To the next one, we park outside and Tamara goes in and gets a wheelchair. She comes out. I get in the wheelchair. She wheels me in, checked in and everything, and just sat in the waiting room. And the lady came in and looked at it and wanted to know what happened and everything. And so I tell her, and I was like, and just so you know, in case you were planning on giving me any kind of medicine, I took 5 ibuprofens earlier. And she was like, what? 5 ibuprofens? You took 5? Yeah.
A gram?
Yeah. You're an idiot. She didn't actually say that, but her face did. We sit there for a while. Well, we sit there for a long while. Tamara was really hungry. Pain was just getting annoying, and I was starting to focus on the rest of my body again, so I was starting to get hungry as well. At one point, a guy came in with a sprained ankle. If you looked at my ankle compared to his, my ankle was broken. Every doctor that saw it said it was broken. We get the x-rays and everything, and we're sitting and waiting. Now, what I start getting nervous about is if you have any kind of wrap or brace or cast on either of your feet in Germany and get in an accident while you are driving, you are completely liable for the entire thing. No matter what kind of insurance you have, no matter what happened, you are liable. And so I was very worried that it was going to be broken and I was going to be put in a cast that couldn't be removed, because then your only driver wouldn't have been able to drive. Tamara and I decided if that happened, which it was basically being told to us that that was what was going to happen, was that some of her family was gonna have to come from like an hour and a half away. They were gonna have to come. We were gonna have to call the car rental company, tell them to add another driver to our plan or whatever. So that was gonna cost money. The family was gonna have to drive up. They were gonna have to take the car. I was gonna have to ride with them, and we would have to return it. All this stuff just so I wouldn't like drive. So they come back in there at one point and they say that they need to do more x-rays. This time they wanted, instead of just doing the ankle, they wanted to do from the knee down. And I was like, great, I have something wrong somewhere else. And so I do that. We waited for a long time, getting hungrier and hungrier by the second. And turns out, not broken, just torn ligaments. They gave me a brace and just told me ice it, you know, ibuprofen when I needed it, probably just not take a gram at a time kind of thing. And after that, Tamara and I were just stoked to leave the hospital, and I was just praising the Lord because my foot wasn't broken and I didn't have to be in a cast. Yes, technically if I would have gotten in an accident with the brace on, then like same thing would apply. But the good thing about the brace over the cast is that like I could remove it, so I would just take it off whenever I was driving. Then Tamara and I go to get pizza. We were literally out of our minds. Like we were so like hilariously night drunk and like just tired, hungry, exhausted. We had a pretty good night after that. Looking back, even though I was in so much pain, that was probably one of the most fun nights that we had, just because we were so crazy that night at the end of it all. That's basically the story of my ankle, and I also will insert pictures now of what it looked like over time. Now basically we only have a little bit of swelling. It's getting there. I can walk pretty normally as it is right now, but it does start hurting at really random points, and I can't really tell what makes it hurt. But I'm supposed to be in a full boot, and I don't always do that. That's the whole story. That's it. That's what happened. That's how I got scared by a cow and injured myself in Germany. Now you know. There's been a bunch of people who have been asking about the whole story. Wanted to share it on here so I could be like, well, I got scared by a cow. You can watch the rest of it on YouTube. That's all. I'm getting better. It's fine. I still like cows.